Hello and welcome to the first day of your 5 minutes a day, 30-day yoga challenge with me, Scola. For our first day, we're going to be focusing on mountain pose. This is a foundational pose that leads into all other standing poses, balancing poses, and inversions. So it's a really great one to break down, understand the alignment and the feel of it. In order to do that, we're going to start lying down on our mat. So coming to our backs, I'm going to bend my knees, planting my feet, and then lift my hips, kind of widen the flesh a little bit, set my hips back down. Then I'm going to clasp my fingers behind my neck, curl my chin towards my chest, lifting my shoulders, and then walk one shoulder blade at a time, my spine out away from my hips. Trying to get a nice long spine here. Once I've grown as much as I can, I'm going to lay back down. Tuck my shoulders up into my ears and then bring my shoulder blades together behind my back and set them down. Then I'm going to reach my neck long out from my shoulders, tucking my chin slightly but keeping that slight curve underneath the back of your neck so much that you can slide your hand through and say hello. Then I'm going to take my legs straight out in front of me, my palms up by my hips. Now we're going to start to activate the various muscles that it takes to stand in this pose. So I'm going to turn my toes somewhat straight up. They don't have to be entirely, depending on your bone structure. And then I'm going to flex my toes towards my face, and then relax my toes a little bit while keeping them up towards the ceiling. And then gently pull my kneecaps up towards my hips. And then as I do that, I'm going to lift through the inner arch of my feet, moving up into the groins. Outer arch moves up into the outer hips. I let my knees soften just a little bit. And then again, everything's lengthening through the top of the torso. Shoulders are coming back and down. And I'm extending the top of my scalp and the back of my neck out ahead of me. So I'm not trying to crank my neck in either direction, but keep that nice small arch in the back of the neck. So I'm going to take a deep breath in through the mind, fill my whole body with oxygen, and exhale, breathe out through my feet. Try and engage all these muscles here. We're pressing out through our feet while reaching our scalp in the opposite direction. I'm going to squeeze my thighs in towards one another and rotate in. And then rotate out. See what the difference is, what muscles you're activating here. My knees tend to go in towards one another, so I actually want to keep mine somewhat turning out while my feet are turning up. Closing your eyes if you haven't, or softening your gaze. And just feeling what's activating here. Does it feel even in your body, or does one side feel different than the other? Awesome, so now we're going to try that standing. Turn your toes out, turn your toes in, straight forward. Find a nice comfortable stance. Feet are about hips distance apart. You can bring them together somewhat, but I feel like that just really makes you a lot more unstable. So you can always have the feet just right under your hips. And then again, lift those toes, spread them wide, set them back down. And then now we're going to act as though we have 3 pressure points on our feet. So the 2 big mounds underneath the toes and then the big part of the heel. We want to press through those 3 corners while lifting up through that inner arch and outer arch. Then I'm going to slightly send my shins forward, lifting those kneecaps. Spread the sits bones wide and let your weight drop into your feet. Everything above the waist lifts. My tailbone is free here and my sits bones are wide, so I'm not clenching my bottom. And then I roll the shoulders up, back, and down, palms come forward. And then I'm going to bring my chin back while I reach the top and back of my neck up towards the ceiling, rooting and rising. And again, close your eyes or find your gaze, your drishti. Your gaze is right at the tip of your nose, something that isn't moving. So we're focused there on that point, or our eyes are closed, it's up to you. But just feel all the different muscles engaging here. What if you roll your thighs in towards one another? How does that affect your hips and your back? What if you roll your thighs out? What area are you now pressing into your feet? What did that do to your low back and your tailbone? Breathing, and then press into your feet, reach the scalp up. Maybe see if this causes a little heat in your body. This should be an active pose here. So as you go on throughout your day, when you're brushing your teeth or standing in line at the grocery store, notice your typical way of standing. I used to stand like this with one leg straight, hip kicked out to the side, no load bearing on this hip, and now this psoas is hardening like a muscle. So I've had to really retrain my body to come center and soften my knees. They actually have done numerous studies where panic attacks are caused by locking out your joints because you're literally cutting communication with your body and not able to fully ground. So just practice that. Maybe do a little dance, shake it off, come to your normal stance. How do you normally hang out? Feel that. What's going on here? What irregularities are you causing through your spine? And then now come back to that mountain, nice and strong, soft bends. I'm not locking out the knees, rolling the shoulders back, chin tucks back, reach the back of the neck and the scalp up as you press down. Thighs are activated, either rolling in or out, or just keeping them firm straight ahead. Beautiful. So now I'm going to let mountain pose guide me through some other poses so I can get warmed up for my day. Thank you so much for following along. I hope that this helped you understand mountain pose and some of the standing poses a little bit better. If you'd like to see the full flow, head on over to joyscola.com where we have our donation-based membership set up for you to have access to all the videos. Thank you and namaste.